Hey, everybody. Did you have hard time getting in?
Yes, it was asking for a passcode. So thanks for resending that.
Well, Sasha, brilliant woman that she is, reached out and said, I can't get in because of a passcode. And I was like, so I went in and I changed it. So thank you for your patience. Let me just see if I can get her. Let's see. Other people too. Oh my God, thank God we have one another, right? Let's see. Emily, you got it. Okay. Okay. There we go. Hey, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So can you guys see me? Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but you look stunning, I've got to say.
How do you like the full moon?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful.
Dasha, you are the winner here because you reached out. I didn't know why anybody wasn't coming. And so thank you everybody for your patience and forgive. Now, isn't this perfect? Because we're at Mercury retrograde, tech issues will happen. You can't make this shit up,
The irony on a Mercury retrograde class, right?
right, Kimba? Yes. It is so wonderful to see each of you. I love having you here. Thank you for showing up. I'm actually doing Mercury retrograde class because Mercury retrograde is one of my favorite times ever. I love it. People are always like, oh no. And I'm just like, yes, I love Mercury retrograde. Does that surprise anybody? Okay. So here we go. I just want to begin with an opening invocation. So I have a candle, an orange candle that is associated with Mercury. So welcome, welcome. So place both feet on the floor, one hand over your heart, the other one on your belly. And take a slow inhale in through your nose and a long exhale out through your mouth. Just get present. And let's do that again. In through your nose and out through your mouth. So let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, and let your breath lead you. So we gather here today on Mercury retrograde. It's also the full moon and a lunar eclipse. It's quite auspicious. And we gather today as conscious participants with the universe, the source of ordered intelligence, the flow of consciousness, moving throughout all things. So breathe in, and we open this space deliberately together. So, and let's call in the archetypal intelligence of Mercury: clarity, precision, discernment, alignment. Let's invite Mercury to walk with us, to teach us, to lead us today, to refine us. So we mirror the heavens. We are the mirrors of the heavens. And so we begin. I'm going to light our candle. So many of you know me. For those that don't, I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm Sue Ananian. I'm a Wicca high priestess and a spiritual teacher. Trained 28 years and then some in the Solomonic lineage, a Western esoteric lineage rooted in discipline, consciousness, transformation, and initiation. So my studies have taken me all around the world, to Japan 22 times. I studied in Canada for 18 years, traveling there about 5 times a year. And I still continue my travels across the states, studying with my teacher and also teaching. I love waking people up to their brilliance. So I'm so glad that you're here. I work, I have a private practice in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and I work with people globally offering healing work and teaching. So I don't teach astrology. I'm not an astrologer. I can't do your birth charts. I don't know your sun sign, but as a high priestess, I work with the astrology, these astrological beings as living intelligences and in magic. And they're brilliant. They're some really good friends. So I'm going to share what I know with you as my relationships. And I approach this work with as timing, as pattern recognition, as refinement of intelligence and consciousness. So the sky does not control us. Our work is to rise above the astrology and work with them as living intelligences. But the heavens do reflect us. They are mirrors of us, as is life. And the old Hermetic saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. So we mirror the heavens. Pretty cool, right? So in this Zoom, oh, somebody's in. So in this Zoom class, We're going to use the chat. This way if everybody is on mute, we can get everything done. I have a ton of material. I have probably about 3 hours worth of class. So if we contribute in the chat, we'll stay on target, everybody. We can communicate because this is community, which I adore. I love being with you. This is like the highlight of my week to be with you. So, let's begin in the chat. What do you associate with Mercury retrograde? Just put in there your thoughts. What are your associations? Is it chaos, fear, magic? So we're all learning, and we're doing this together. So right now, tech issues, yes, yes. We began this class with tech issues, didn't we? And together we overcame it. Powerful energy moving crazy. Yeah. Communication. Yes. Breakdowns of communication. Technology chaos. Jeannie says this one is draining her. Vision, clarity. And Sasha says astronomy, simply one planet moving faster than the others. Yeah, Mercury is a small planet and it is the swiftest planet. And so Mercury retrograde is a astronomical illusion. It doesn't actually travel backwards in the sky. It slows down and it appears from Earth to slow down. So, from Earth's perspective, Mercury slows down and moves backwards in its orbit, but it's not actually reversing. Nothing in the cosmos is malfunctioning, nothing is wrong. But symbolically, when Mercury goes retrograde, as many of you suggested and are aware, communication will often backfire. Information exchanges can be challenging. This is a time where we want to be, there's a lot of reviewing, revisiting, refining, realigning, because when the planet slows down in the sky, it's with us longer and it's intense. It can be. And this does affect communication, information between family, friends, contracts, technology, travel, our perceptions, our nervous systems, and our very mind can all be impacted. And so slowing down, it's kind of like the universe's pause button. And it's really wise, as particularly Westerners, we often push through, keep going. We are often judged by what we get done, how productive we are. And the one thing that I love about Wicca, it's all about the cycles and understanding nature. And so when the planets slow down, it's our opportunity to follow nature's lead and slow down too. Because if we continue pushing forward, that's when we can get tripped up. So this is actually a revision. It's not a failure. It's our opportunity to realign with our greatest dreams. Does that make sense? Yeah. So this is a time where if I'm flowing with it, I might not, if contracts come, people are selling houses, working with others. We're still in a relationship with others. But this is a time to not take anything too seriously. Like, if I know that communication is challenging at Mercury retrograde, I'm going to slow down. I might not respond right away, right? There's some really great emotional tools that we can utilize at this point, not take it too seriously. Understand that communication is going to be wonky. Maybe over communicate and say, I heard this. Is this how you met it? Or if the person isn't so safe, maybe you step back until the heat, because Mercury is ruled by air, and air can be like a gentle breeze or it can be like a fierce tornado, right? So, understanding this, I can approach my day easier. So communication contracts, I might if I needed to sign a contract, I might review it a ton of times. I have to tell you, I sent out a newsletter. If any of you get my newsletter, I sent out my newsletter. I proofed it twice. I sent it out, and when I opened it up, because of course it comes to me, the paragraphs were all jumbled. And I was like, I proved it twice. And frankly, listen, if I was like a business person, like I could get flack. I could get flack, like, how could you send this out? It's so unprofessional. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to go with the thing. I didn't send out an email to bring it to your attention and to correct myself. I was just like, it's Mercury retrograde. Of course, right? Of course. I proved it twice. So, and you have to laugh at yourself, right? It was like what are you going to do? Right? So now Mercury retrograde comes around. And if you're traveling, give yourself extra time. Give yourself extra time with TSA, give yourself extra time on the road. Don't rush, right? Because, cars are big and they're metal. And give yourself extra time so that when there are glitches on the road or there's a detour, it's Mercury retrograde. And if we give ourselves extra time, get there early. Get there early and grab a cup of tea and enjoy the sun when it comes out again. Who's missing the sun? I know, right? So, and our perception, I remember this was with my husband. I'll share a personal story. We've been married a long time, and something happened, and I was convinced he was wrong. And I was very, very opinionated, very hot about it. And I was for sure he was wrong. And then, and I was really opinionated about it. So yes, use your imagination. I was an asshole. And um, he remained calm. He was brilliant because he just remained calm. And I had to stop And guess who was the asshole? Me. I was wrong. It's amazing how air can turn us upside down, can get us dizzy. It's like it's vertigo, right? It's an internal illusion. And we were both having the same conversation. We were both in the same room, and we both had completely different reactions for it. It was a great lesson for me because how could I misunderstand it so dramatically, right? And this is communication. This is why we have communication to meet another person, right? So communication is can be quite dicey. And so just have patience. Everything, everything that can happen, just watch Mercury as Mercury does Mercury. It's quite amazing. So now there can be 3 or 4 Mercury retrogrades in a year. Did you know that? Yeah, and each one lasts 3 or 4 weeks. So Mercury retrograde um, began February 26th and will end, it'll go direct again March 20th. And it's in Pisces. So when I'm teaching, when I was writing this material, I was getting quite excited. And so the additional energy of Pisces is water, so it can be quite emotional, right? Um, Pisces also influences our intuition, our dreams, our spiritual insights, and emotional clarity, and more. But that's the simple. So here we have air, we have Mercury, who is the ruler of communication, contracts, technology, travel, the nervous system, our mind. And so we can also be emotional with Pisces. So just notice that this can be a more emotional time, more intuitive. Um, the next Mercury retrograde is June 9th to July 2nd, and that's in Cancer, which is also a water sign. And that also affects our home, our family dynamics, our emotional processing, past memories, maybe healing deep childhood patterns. So there's so many opportunities for us with Mercury retrograde. We can go, it's an inner journey. As I said, as above, so below, as within, so without. Whatever happens above is flowing through us and then mirrors out into our world. So if we're having glitches, instead of pointing at the other guy, we point at ourselves. What is going on with me that I am mirroring this into the world? That's a hard one sometimes. Because in the West, we're trained like that many of us believe that we're powerless, that things are happening to us instead of for us, right? But this is a time of no more secrets. People are waking up. You can see this out in the world as things are collapsing and the struggles are happening, like a new world is emerging. And so each of us can take that deep dive into healing ourselves and becoming that light that goes out into the world. So I'm really glad that you're here. You're really, really important. October 21st to November 10th, the The Mercury retrograde begins in Scorpio. Guess what? Another water sign. This is about secrets, power dynamics, shadow work, deep truth. And so not only do we see that in us, but we're going to be seeing all these qualities out in the world too. So it's like buckle up, right? Cushion yourselves, slow down so that you can get through the ride easier. And it's not going to be easy. This is why we have community. We can get together as community and hold one another, knowing that we're going to get through this together. If you guys have any questions, stick it in the chat. So the big picture for these 3 retrogrades in 2026 is all water and relational themes. Relational, the patterns in the universe are within us and around us. We are the cosmos, right? We are not separate from it. We are made in the image of the divine. So what happens above happens below, happens inside of us, happens outside of us. We can see the stories, miscommunication, the emotional jargon happening all around us. So our work is to hold steady, and it's doable. So, a little bit more about Mercury. Mercury, my friend. Mercury is not just a planet, it's an archetype. So this is, do you know Carl Jung? Have you heard of Carl Jung? He was a brilliant psychologist who was also an initiate in this lineage, in the Solomonic lineage. And his work was to bring out, just like our work is to bring out our particular contract with the divine. His work was to explain the human experience, and he did it through his psychology. And he explained the human mind and the experience through the archetypal world, right? So we might be leading our experience as like, who's the healer here? Who's the teacher? Who's the warrior? Right? Who's the hero? You know, there are people, military, cops, EMT, firefighters, they run into the buildings when we're running out, right? So we're all living an archetypal experience, and the planets also reflect that. So Mercury, like I said, he governs communication, memory. You can use him for helping to pass exams, business deals, legal matters, technology, travel, intellect, commerce. These archetypal experiences help us with creation, and these archetypal experiences, the teacher, the healer, the warrior, right? It also creates, as we use them, it creates the blueprint of our world, what we're projecting out into our world. Does that make sense? Right? And when we project that into our world, it's not only us being affected, but it affects the blueprint of the universe, the collective consciousness. So our work is really, really important. So here comes Mercury, right? He's the trickster, the bridge between realms, the analyst, the narrator, the mind, the nervous system. And Mercury is also known as Hermes, who moves between heaven and earth. So Hermes carries messages from the divine, Mercury or Hermes, same being, carries messages from the divine to the human realm, to all of us. And this means that Mercury governs insight, which becomes language, how we communicate. This also governs intuition, which becomes communication. It becomes thought, which becomes reality. And he helps us guides us between worlds. So what we consciously know lives just beneath our awareness, deep inside of us, in our intuition. So when Mercury retrogrades, when the planet retrogrades, that movement slows down, kind of hovers just below the surface. And so old conversations may resurface. You might notice this in your life right now. Old misunderstandings may return if you start harping on the old. Right? Old mental narratives may reappear because Mercury is working with our mind. And these things are coming up because you're ready for healing. So if you need healing work, get the healing work. If you need to have the conversations, have the conversations. We're all hovering now, and things in your life may appear for you to realign, re-examine, rethink, repattern. So this isn't random. This is actually how the heavens support us in our spiritual growth with these planetary beings. It's not random. So sometimes I think that Mercury is a trickster because he reveals things to us that we need to expose. So instead of resisting it, I start listening if I'm smart. So once we begin to see things, we can't unsee them, right? And so Mercury will often reveal the hidden. So I remember, does anybody have any questions? Does that mean we can get more messages through? Yes, Mercury retrograde. Absolutely. That was Kelly asking. Yes, we can get more messages. And we're going to do a meditation where I'm going to take you inside and you can meet Mercury and get some information. And then you'll be able to do this for yourself. So I remember, like some of you that had concerns about Mercury retrograde, I did too. I didn't like the glitches, the misunderstanding, the delays. I would have liked to avoid it all. But Mercury is very loving. He wouldn't let me go. So I of instead of feeling disrupted or blame myself, what did I do wrong? Over time with my training, I began to develop a relationship with the cycle. And instead, I began listening. So This is, I'm going to give you a really great trick. It's a hack. When you come to a challenging situation, think of something really hard, whether it was a person related, situational related. If I feel really hurt, offended, out of sorts, I take myself out of the situation and instead I swap it and I say, what is this person? What is this situation? If this was a teacher, what is the lesson here? It's brilliant. Everything is a reflection of us. It's hard to believe sometimes, but everything in our life, we created it. And so this is a way that we can stop and say, okay, well, I don't want that experience again. What do I need to do differently? What do I need to learn here? So instead, I began to catch myself being rushed, how I needed to slow down to realign with this energy, with myself, really. Um, it would show me how what surface conversations I was avoiding, even to myself. And it protected me from decisions that weren't fully formed. So Mercury really became like a dear friend, a precise friend, a friend who says, not yet, slow down, read that again. And when I didn't, I hit send. And you all got that cockeyed email, right? And this helps us realign with our own inner dreams. So I really love Mercury retrograde. People, there's so many memes on the internet and people are, and I play along too because it's really pretty funny. But I love Mercury retrograde and I actually get excited, excited enough to write this class and be here with you because Mercury is fabulous. So, um, these, I said this earlier, but it's really important. These cycles don't only influence us, they influence the collective. If you know any nurses or health practitioners, any police officers, the the consciousness, the hospitals are filled on the new moon and even the new moon. And we know that the communication and travel and all has been historically vetted, that it's associated with Mercury retrograde since the ancient times, since our ancestors who knew the cycles. So, and I know that the world is dicey right now, unexplainable, and challenging for many of us. And so I hope that was another reason I wrote this because I hope it helps. Right? Slow down. Don't. There's an old saying, "Not my circus, not my monkeys." Right? But it's hard because this is our circus and our monkeys, and um, so we have to do the best we can with one another and stay balanced as well as we can. We will get through this. There's so much information in this tradition about um, the different energies floating around. So we will get through this. And so we're all in the arc of learning now. And so by understanding these underlying currents, understanding that communication itself is being refined, will help us maintain our peace. And when we can maintain our peace, we can share our peace with our friends and our family, right? And we're all stepping into that hero archetype. You know, you can go to the store and use your communication and be kind and say something, help somebody, right? So right now, not everything warrants our attention. Not every headline deserves our nervous system. Part of our spiritual training is our discernment, choosing where our energy goes. And only you can figure out where you need to be. So I wanted to, I wrote a lot of stuff, so I'm picking through. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night, or maybe a second class. But so tonight I wanted to take you on a guided meditation so that you can meet Mercury. Sound good? You excited? Sasha's clapping. Yay! Yes, I want you to meet my friend. So you're all sitting up, relax, close your eyes. Have your feet on the ground. And take a slow inhale in through your nose. And then exhale out through your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale, breathe in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. And let your breath settle into a steady rhythm. Slowly, deeply in through your nose. And exhale all the old stagnant energy out through your mouth. And imagine yourself standing beneath the night sky. The air is still. The stars are bright. And you notice a planet above you moving, small, quickly, and it's bright. This is Mercury. And you feel Mercury slow down even more, noticing you. And an energy connects. You feel safe, loved, held, nurtured. Feel your body relax. Your chakras open up. Your crown, your third eye, the front and back. Your throat, the front and back. Your heart, the front and back. Your solar plexus chakra, front and back. Your sacral chakra, front and back. And your root chakra, all open. The energy of the divine flows through you from heaven down to earth, through your central core, filling up all your chakras. And Mercury waits for your presence. Now imagine walking toward the horizon where the sky meets the earth. This is the meeting place between the inner and the outer world. The in-between place where heaven meets the earth. And as you walk, you feel a presence beside you. This presence is clear, precise, alert. This is the archetypal intelligence of Mercury. This presence. This is the aspect of the living field of consciousness, not separate from you, not controlling you, but beside you, in relationship with you. You stop and you turn toward Mercury, toward this presence, this new friend. How does Mercury appear to you? Use your senses. You might see, feel, taste, touch, smell. How does Mercury present himself to you? Thank Mercury for being here with us today. Does he have a message for you? Receive the message. You can ask, where in my life am I being called to for greater clarity? Conversations need more thought, completion, within myself and with others. Where am I rushing in my life? What do I need to slow down? What needs my attention in my body, my mind, my emotions, my my work? What needs my attention? What in my life needs to be revisited, realigned, repatterned? Where do I need my attention? my devotion, my healing. Where have I been misaligned? Yuri, how are you assisting my spiritual growth? Allow any images, sensations, words, or a quiet knowing land. Mercury is the master of communication, and you'll get the message. It will land and it will emerge for you. This is not going outside for power or information. This is going inside, within ourselves. This is revamping and sharpening your internal clarity. Say silently, I welcome clarity. I welcome precision. I move deliberately during Mercury retrograde, and I respond embodied in my power, trusting my truth instead of reacting. And now ask Mercury and your highest self, what one action aligns me during this cycle? Pause, receive. Slowly inhale, knowing that this potent time is aligned for you. that you were perfectly created to ride this wave of energy, to steer your ship where your greatest spiritual growth and desires happen. Slowly inhale and exhale. Feel your body again, your feet on the floor. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Come back, come back. So in the chat, feel free to share, describing anything that you want to share. Not necessary either, but share in the chat. What did you receive? What, and you can type this too, what one action will you take? You're grounding this into your earth by saying it, and then the action that you're going to take. This is for you. Anchor it into the world. So Jessica says, be patient. It's almost here, and you're almost ready. You're more than ready than you have ever been. Yes. And then what action are you going to take? So here we are, all learning. Anna's aligning with the celestials. They're here for me to help her. Yes, they do want to help. We have free will. We need to ask for help. So yes, I love that. So beautiful. How was that for you guys? Did you enjoy Mercury? Was he what you expected? Was he different? What was he like? Amelie was told that what is happening for me, not against me. Yes. Yes, and to relax, it will be okay. Sasha was actually physically picked up out of her chair. I was shown a new support group that I'm going to facilitate and was told it will help so many people. Yay, you. I'm glad you enjoyed the meditation. So each of you received information. What action do you need to take now? Because nothing happens without action, right? We have the four elements: fire, air, water, earth. We need to bring this stuff down into the physical. As above, so below. It happens by our will. So, It was very Zen-like. Thank you. You're welcome. That was fun. So, Amelie is going to be true to herself, be much more authentic self. Yes, you've been doing that too. I see you. I love being with you guys in classes. You always show up. Thank you. Um, and I see you on Facebook and in our groups, and I adore you. And this is how we get through this together. So, layers of healing. So, the retrogrades, there are other planets that go retrograde. And, but today we talk about Mercury, my buddy. And retrograde, they operate in layers. There's a surface disruption, there's an emotional activation, pattern recognition, core belief exposure, integration. We get it all. But most people stop at disruption. And here together we go deeper. So, I'm going to ask you a question, and you don't have to answer it, but to yourself. Which layer are you willing to engage in? Surface disruption? Yes, it's going to happen. Emotional activation, pattern recognition, core belief exposure, integration. Where are you going to go with this? I suspect all of it. I think you're all going to go deep, right? My fearless friends. So, this is where Sasha's big yes. Yes. So this is where it can be really helpful is you can do you all have a spiritual journal so that you can see the cycles and patterns and you test things out and you can look back because otherwise we forget, right? We forget the insights that we get. And a a journal is really helpful. So I'm going to ask you a few questions that you can put in your spiritual journal as you're moving through this Mercury retrograde. Remember, as above, so below, as within, so without. So it behooves us to really dive deep into the opportunity during this Mercury retrograde where we get to really slow down, rethink, revamp, repattern, review. So here's a question for you. Where do I avoid clarity? Where do I rush my speech, my decisions? Fill in the blank. Where do I rush? Where do I assume instead of ask? Where do I need more communication with the other as well as myself? Are you spending time with yourself? We have 3 weeks until March 20th, where Mercury is going to grace us with this time, where we can really dive deep into the hidden, revamp, recreate, revisit. I'm telling you, I'm looking at my website. I made a website 2 years ago and I've changed so much. I'm like, I need to redo my whole website. This is the beauty of Mercury, right? Where do I want to go? What do I really want to communicate? Who do I want to help? How do I want to do this? I just have to be willing to rewrite the whole stinking thing. And yes, why wouldn't I? Because it's going to reflect more of me, right? I don't want something that isn't me anymore. I want to be me out in the world. So this is a beautiful time to use this energy. And this growth is happening in real time. We're getting to the end of class, and I just have 2 more questions I want to ask you. Let's look at Mercury as a trickster. Think of one recent frustration. Just think of it in your head. What assumption were you operating under? Remember the story of my husband? So where that was totally Mercury as the trickster, turned my whole world, turned me upside down. What assumption in your frustration were you operating under? Where were you imprecise? And so in that situation, is there a refinement opportunity? Whether you can fix that situation or if it comes up again, what would you do differently? What can you refine? Because cycles, they always come around again. Situations will always come around again, right? So Mercury is like sharpening the sword. It refines us. And there's no shame here. Mercury does not shame us. Mercury helps us realign with who we really are. This is a teaching moment. So be kind to yourselves too. No shame. We are refining, we are growing, we are stepping into greater self-mastery. And then there's a somatic experience I want to share with you. Notice your breath. Even when we describe something slowly, it slows us down. Our breathing slows down. You can hear it in my voice as I'm speaking, right? And when that happens, when our when our breath and our speech slow down, our nervous system can soften. And when our nervous system softens, our thinking sharpens. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious did this retrograde feel before we got together? From a 1 to a 10, 10 being really anxious. You can put that in the chat if you will. Amelie, you were a 10, you were really nervous? Jeannie was really nervous. Kimberly was a 4. Kelly was a 3. Good. So you guys know yourself. Excellent. And how does it feel now? Is there a difference? Sasha, when you're a 0, same. Excellent. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this was helpful for you. Okay, so everybody's nervous system is settling down, softening. Take another breath in. That's great. It's great that the shift is measurable. I like tangible results. If you know me, I'm always saying tangible results. Good. So, if you like, not mandatory, but when we leave, write down the things that, write down your experience with Mercury. Write down action steps because I really want your success. We have to take action to make something happen. If we don't take action, nothing happens. And I can't believe we're coming to the end right on time. We're going to begin where we're going to end where we began, with our hand on our heart and one on our belly. And let's say to ourselves, I choose clarity. I choose precision. I collaborate with the rhythm of my own growth. You hear every word you say to yourself. Be kind. Be loving. I choose clarity. I choose precision. And I collaborate with the rhythm of my own growth. And in this Mercury retrograde, I will sink into this energy, walk with my new friend as I revisit, review, and choose the life that's for my highest good. I'm evolving, and I'm so proud of myself. So here we are. We began this class saying that we are not victims of astrology. We are the creators of our destiny. We are active participants in our life. Mercury is not here to disrupt us. Mercury is here to sharpen us, to assist our flow of consciousness that moves through all things. As above, so below. As within, so without. We are the masters of our destiny. You are the mirrors of heaven. Stay steady, stay discerning, stay present, and love one another through this. We're all learning and growing. We will all have our hiccups, including me. I have enough of them. Let's love each other through this. And so it is. Done. Thank you for being here, everybody. I'm going to include you on a newsletter, which I will be sending out with some, maybe a spell or two that you can use for this auspicious time. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'm only an email away. Love you. Thank you for coming, taking your time out of your busy day and joining us here. Bye-bye.